Well, hello guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Battle of Dunbar, a monumental clash between the Parliamentarians and the Scots. We are of course playing as the Scots, the Royalists in this case, against the New Model Army, and I'm hoping that we can do pretty well. But if you guys watch the first part of this video, which I'm going to link down below, you're going to understand that we're starting with despite actually outnumbering the Parliamentarians, I believe, in this battle in history, we're starting with an army that doesn't have nearly as much training as they do, an army which a lot is made of just regular pike and shot, a lot of recruits as well. So whatever we do here, we're trying to repel the Parliamentarians, but at the same time, in fact, we're on the offensive. At the same time, we're also trying to beat an army that's much more advanced than us. So we're going to go ahead and get started here on some shooting. We've gotten them up close and personal where we want them. Now we're going in for the kill, or at least trying to. Now in this army, the Scots did lose, so we lost this army in history, but we're going to try to beat the Parliamentarians and get a victory. So I'm going to start firing, and again, when I start firing, it gets pretty damn loud. You may not be able to hear me, so I'm going to do that now and see if we can't repel some of these Parliamentarian bastards. Let's go for it, boys. 1733, you can already see the difference there in skill. Now, I'd love to keep firing at that unit, but this one directly in front of me, I'm going to get more fire on it than if I fired at this guy, as you can see, because he's off our arc of fire. So we're going to fire here. 20. And actually, they managed to disrupt our unit. We're going to now fire at this guy over here, slightly to our right. And the reason I'm shooting at him is he is in a really bad place. We can charge and win because our men are not as well equipped as the Parliamentarians, but we can keep firing our muskets, or flintlocks in this case, and hopefully get them to slowly retreat. 37, not bad at all. Let's go for another one. 17, we're actually getting some return fire there as well. We'll move up with this unit. In fact, I was going to keep this unit back to fire. And those are veteran pike and shot, so they're very, very strong. They've been in battles before, probably against English royalists, not Scottish royalists. And now we're going to try to focus our fire here on this unit. We could also try to focus our fire on those cannons, which we're going to do, and try to get them to rout. They're fragmented. If we get a few more shots on them, we could break them. Alright, let's see. So we definitely want to hit these units as much as possible. And this one, it looks interesting. So these are Parliamentarian pikemen. I would be terrified of getting into a close combat fight with them. So I definitely want to try and do as much damage as possible here. And I've made the same mistake as the enemy did, getting into this small canal here, this stream, rather. This can be a problem. So we're going to keep up the fire. I might fire at those cannons. We know we can break them quickly, but I think the veteran Parliamentarian horse is much deadlier than the cannons, believe it or not. We're already in a close combat fight over here. We're trying to bring on our Royalist foot, which can do a lot of damage to the enemy, but it's going to take a while to get them up here, and we're actually concerned about this position. Let's go ahead and charge that unit just because they're kind of on a flanked position, so this is a good time to charge, even though we don't have as much skill as they do. And if we can charge these guys, we're going to charge them too, because believe it or not, this is the one situation, despite the enemy, the New Model Army's Roundheads having an amazing advantage in terms of skill level. This is the one time we have a chance to beat them with our own cavalry, and that's when they're in the stream, sort of in a bad position, as you can imagine. I'm going to move over here and see if there's anything we can do here as well. I think we've moved these units, though, in the last part of this battle. And if we charge here, it would be sort of useless, because we have a bigger chance of losing than we do of actually coming away with a win there. So I will move forward. Somebody mentioned in the last battle, by the way, the last part of the battle, that we probably would have been better off getting those units, those cavalry units, to retreat and just moving up with our pikemen. That's absolutely true, but it's a bit too late for that now. So we've got to go through with our new plan, which is to keep these guys on the canal as best we can and hopefully destroy them utterly. Easier said than done, and we're about to turn over the turn to the Parliamentarians. Let's hope they don't do too much damage to our men, but let's also hope that we get in some nice shots at the same time to the enemy. A lot of our units are already routing. Let's see what happens, my friends. Nasty shot coming in there from Parliament. 37, my goodness. And this is why we want to get rid of those cannons. They are pretty vicious. So there we go. Very even fight there on the left flank. We've brought in 2 cavalry units to see if we can offset that advantage that the enemy has. And actually right there, some very even fighting. The Battle of Dunbar was extremely bloody, and that's being recreated in this battle for you guys. And there we go. We did manage to rout some veteran units. We've also got Cromwell's navy off the coast, and we're actually managing to incredibly disadvantage some enemy veteran parliamentarian horse, which would be the Roundheads. I would love to destroy these guys and set them breaking, and there we go. We managed to break some parliamentarian horse. That's a great bit of news, but it's probably not going to last very long. We've actually been disrupted here. Over here we're flanked, so we'll definitely be disrupted. We could even be broken by the end of this turn. I'm amazed that our men are standing strong. And there we go. We're chasing and killing these men running away. It's now the parliamentarian turn. They can certainly go ahead and move forward at will. But as they do, we're going to be firing on these units. Look at that. And we auto-broke a parliamentarian cavalry unit. That's beautiful. You can see that our muskets, our flintlocks, I keep calling them muskets, are doing a great job right now at doing some damage to these guys. Now, they've got us here in the stream, and this is the perfect place for them to charge. So I understand why they're doing what they're doing, of course. Keep firing, boys. They're going to charge us here once again, try to get out of that stream, and that was a great charge. They've auto-broken a unit. It's going to cause a lot of disruption amongst the rest of our men. Some of them are dispersed. This unit has broken, so once again, we may have broken some of their units, but they came right back at us with a vicious charge and are definitely making up for a lot of this. Caught a few more of them in the stream. If we can keep this up, we are off to a decent start. But honestly, you can look at the difference. They're 10% to 8%. It's very close, but the enemy definitely has the upper hand. They're going to actually move those cannons up, and they're going to charge. Once again, our cavalry. It's going to be fragmented. So a whole nother residual shooting phase. I'm hoping this one's going to work in our favor. 20. Nice shooting by the cannons. Very even right there. Again, very even still, but we've got to get through these melee attacks and try and hold the enemy off as long as we can, guys. Now, we've broken here. That's going to really hurt us. Again, each time we rout, it's going to scare a bunch of the other units because they're going to see their friends running off the battlefield, and that's going to cause a lot of confusion, you know, lack of coordination, of course. So our job now is to try and keep these guys off our backs as best we can by continuing to fight and holding our ground. We're both in the canal at this point, so it really is just a vicious fight, but I'm hoping that we can do something about it. Once again, another one of our units breaking there. Luckily, we broke this unit right here. Hoping that's going to make a difference, but quite frankly, if we look at that difference, it's not too substantial. The enemy is slowly but surely beating us back, and certainly in the actual Battle of Dunbar, they won for a reason, and this is one of those reasons. Just exceptional skill levels of these particular parliamentarians. Now, I'm thinking of charging here, but our loss is actually much higher a chance that we lose than actually gain anything here. So I'm going to move forward and take a nasty, nasty volley there. I'm going to go ahead and return fire. We probably would have been better off staying where we were. I'm going to turn towards this enemy here. I'm going to open fire. They're going to return fire and get much better shots on us. We'll once again turn towards the enemy. We'll try to hit that guy in the stream, and we'll try to smash this guy. A big volley right there, but of course he's going to return fire. We're going to do the same to this guy. He's flanked, so we actually have a pretty good chance of not making this guy run, at least scaring the hell out of him. Now let me turn this unit towards the enemy also and fire. And they are disrupted. Our units are disrupted right now, not theirs. So they have a much greater chance of making us run than the other way around. Obviously, if that was to happen, we'd be in a world of trouble. Right now, we're essentially using our muskets, or flintlock, once again, another mistake, to try and beat these guys. And it's not easy. It really isn't. if the flintlocks can win out on this battle, we're going to be very, very lucky men. But quite frankly, it's pretty hard to make that happen. So I'm going to move in with my Royal Pikes. Open fire here on the veteran parliamentarian horse. Now, the Royalist foot, they're really mostly made up of pikes. They have very few actual flintlocks to use, which is why they excel at close combat, and which is why we're trying to get close to the enemy with them. We want to try and hurt the enemy as much as possible here, but the only way we're going to do that is by getting these pikes close for some close combat, basically. No other way to put that. We've got a few more units back here as well that can move forward, but unfortunately we've got men in the way that are not going to allow us to get some decent shots off, so we're just going to try to do as much damage to the units we can see. And those in the canal are a perfect target, even though our cannons are not nearly as good as the parliamentarian cannons. We can try our best to put some holes in those lines. Let's see if we can get a shot off here. Not bad, not bad. Alright, it could have gone a lot better, but it is what it is, guys. We've got to accept the situation. And, of course, these two Scots horse are chasing this veteran parliamentarian horse. It's actually quite a big accomplishment to beat off some roundheads with just some basic Scots horse. But obviously, look at all those parliamentarians around the battle. It's a crazy fight. There's no other way to put it. And we just have to hope that we can hold out. This will be the end of part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. We're also going to get a flanking charge here on the enemy. And we can actually disrupt this parliamentarian horse and fragment them. Very nice. Maybe even break them by next turn if we are extremely lucky. But we will go into part 3 of this battle in the next video. I'm going to put part 1 in the description. So if you haven't seen the battle yet, or you haven't seen part 1 of the battle, you want to check that out. This was an amazing, amazing historical battle. Really a major meeting between the parliamentarians and the Scots that supported the king, in this case the king's son. So it's definitely something you want to check out and have a look at. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you want to support the channel more directly, you can always meet me on Patreon. And if you want to share the channel, I really appreciate it. That's one of the best ways to help, is share with friends. Go to our other videos in our watch list, in our playlists, and check them out. If you're a fan of Pike and Shot, I'm always up for a multiplayer battle that maybe we could even put here on the channel. So keep that in mind. Thank you for watching. Take care, and glory to the Scots.